I'm Dan Larson, and this is Titan's Return Hot Rod in 4 minutes or less. Titan's Return Hot Rod is a deluxe class transformer and part of either the last wave of 2016 or the first wave of 2017, depending on where you live and how diligently your local transformer provider stocks their toy section. When it comes to a transformer's 2 modes, there's a limited amount of design to go around, especially at this price point. The ratio of good robot mode to good alt mode generally has to remain balanced. As one goes up, the other goes down. It's very rare to get a good robot mode and a good alt mode. Designers generally have to pick one and make sacrifices with the other. In the case of Hot Rod or Rodimus or Hot Rodimus or Lil Hottie or Rod Rod or Rowdy Roddy Hot Stuff, whatever we're calling him these days, Space Car mode is on point, perhaps lacking only in the area of paint application, which there's almost none applied. That means the sacrifices are going to be made by the robot mode. Making sacrifices doesn't mean bad per se, it just means that you might not get all the functionality you hope for or the perfect silhouette. Hot Rod's robot mode is defined by 2 prominent visual elements. 1, the flame deco on his chest, and 2, his golden V-wing spoiler on his back that connects him visually to all those classic cartoon robots like Daitarn 3, Zambot 3, and Trider G7. His shoulder joints sit a little high on his torso and his arms seem a bit long, and it's all visually exaggerated by the extended shoulders that stand taller than his head. The result is a shrugged shoulder, apish kind of look. Not a deal breaker, but those pronounced shoulders do block his totally sweet spoiler wings from the front angle. Articulation is consistent with the rest of the Titan's Return series and most deluxe figures that have been coming out for years now. The only place he's really limited is his head. While there's plenty of left-right pivoting, the connector, which also happens to be the head of the smaller bot, doesn't allow for any up and down movement. On top of that, removing the head from a headmaster is reminiscent of removing a tick from your skin. You're trying to grab it close enough to the entry point, low enough to pull it out, simultaneously making sure that you have the whole thing, because you don't want that tiny little head connector or neck to pop off and get stuck inside, and then it gets infected, and now you have Cybertronian Lyme disease. And bear with me here, because I already know it doesn't make any sense that it bugs me, but it bugs me that there's a series of combiners that isn't all sentient beings with their own heads. See, Hot Rod here isn't actually Hot Rod until Fire Drive and his car decide to combine. It's not until they're in combined form that the being called Hot Rod can fully manipulate a robot form with a head. It wouldn't bug me so much if Hot Rod the headless car could turn into a robot mode with a different head that could then be enhanced by combining with Fire Drive, but that's not how it works. Hot Rod in robot mode without combining is just headless robot car. And what happens if I put another headmaster head on the Hot Rod headless body? Who is it now? If I use Trigger Happy's head, Blowpipe, is the Blowpipe Hot Rod combination Hot Rod? Is it Trigger Happy? The head is where all the important stuff happens, including both self-awareness and the questioning of one's identity and the significance in the grand scheme of things. Why does the part that grabs things and disposes of energon waste get to be the thing that retains naming rights? If you've been checked out of Titan's Return thus far anyway, then Hot Rod is an easy pass, but if you need to update your deluxe class Hot Rod from 2006, then this is a must-have, so buy it if you see it, and if you see 2, leave 1 for the next collector. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this channel with someone who you know who isn't already a subscriber. Let us know in the comments below if you've gotten over the whole Rodimus Prime replacing Optimus thing. As a kid, I had a big problem with it. I was not ready to let go of Optimus, and I didn't really feel like Hot Rod had earned it. But after all these Michael Bay movies and seeing him everywhere and like 146 different Hasbro versions of Optimus, I'm like, okay, I get it now. Enough Prime, time to move on. Give me the gun, Megatron. I'll do it.
I get it. Cut.